Yo, thank y'all for tuning in. I just want to say before we get started, this is a spaces that I had with my bro, 706 Gamer of the Broadband Bully. Y'all might hear me call him Noah. But yeah, this is his first spaces, and he brought me on as a co-host. So I want y'all to go to his YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the like button, watch some of his content. He plays a lot of games. He uploads a lot of game video content, whether it's Xbox or PlayStation. All right, he play a plethora of games. So he's at like 516 subscribers. Let's support the whole broadband movement and help him get to 1,000 subscribers. Okay, so this is 706 Gamers first Twitter space, and he brought me on as a co-host, and I'm gonna bring you all along, and just in case y'all missed it, so y'all can get in tune and comment below if you like what you hear, or if you hear some things in the conversation and you want to drop a comment about the Twitter space below, then definitely do that. All right, peace.
Yo, what's up, y'all? We'll get started in just a minute, man. I'm waiting for some more people to fill the room up. Got my homie post up. This is my first Twitter space. Let me figure this thing out. All right, added you as a speaker. Invite the co-host.
And plus, in what mic mode you got it on? I'm gonna put mine on voice isolation, so it can block out the noise around me.
All right.
If it let me. Let me see.
What's up, everybody? Appreciate y'all joining in, man.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah. Thanks everybody for joining in. Appreciate that. We're gonna get started in a very few.
If you can, man, tweet this out for me.
Got some things to talk about. Let's see.
Yeah.
I think I just did that. Hold on.
How many we got in post?
We got quite a few hits. It's starting to fill up now.
What's up, man? That's what's up.
There we go.
My bad, y'all. I'm just sending the link to a few places, man, so we can get maximum participation. I really wanted to hear from you all. Like, I see a lot of PlayStation dudes, man. They just be like, Xbox don't need to be in the console space no more. Can't wait for them to go complete third party. They just want the PlayStation to be on the market and nothing else. So I just want to give people the opportunity to kind of speak their mind, get their perspective, and so I want to understand why.
Been hearing that for the last 20 years.
Like, why do you hate Microsoft so much? I don't get it.
We've been hearing that for the last. You know what is crazy? Jim Ryan had a interview today. That was talking about Sony, his past, how he started, from where he was back then to where he at now in terms of his current role in the company, and where he see the company going in the future in terms of making their content accessible to more people. And instead of us seeing spaces about that and what Ponies felt about the interview and what he had to say about their preferred platform of choice, they had a spaces about the health and the finances of Game Pass.
I saw that, bro. I saw that. And from what I was reading, I was in there for a little bit. I was kind of busy at the moment. They're supposed to have like some type of financial advisor that's supposed to be speaking on the Xbox accounting? Like I'm pretty sure Phil Spencer was in there with a pencil and a notepad
Wait.
taking notes, bro. Like,
So you had a financial advisor in there that doesn't have access to Microsoft books speaking on the health and financial status of Game Pass.
don't quote me, bro, but that's what I saw on Twitter. But that's what somebody posted.
That's
Crazy, bro.
crazy.
Crazy, bro. They're more
That's
concerned with Microsoft bottom line than actually gaming. Dog. I don't get it. But
Game
we gonna
Pass is it's a marathon. They don't care about losing money on Game Pass right now. The same way Amazon didn't care about losing money on their services for 14 years before they turned a profit. You know what I'm saying? They didn't care. They was just worried about future growth. That's all Microsoft was worried about. Getting those subscription numbers up and growing the Game Pass platform. They can lose money on Game Pass right now. It's not gonna hurt them. You know what I'm saying? They're a $2 trillion company. You
right, bro.
know?
I don't think a lot of people realize that's what business is. Business is going into depth. Business is borrowing money so you can make money off that money.
Yeah.
Investors are going to keep investing in you as long as their money's making a return. So
could you imagine being Amazon and losing a profit or not making a profit for 14 years? It took you 14 years to turn a profit. And the CEO of Amazon said that future growth was more important than quarterly earnings at the time, meaning that they wanted to build. And look where Amazon is right now in terms of their subscription service with Amazon Prime, their movie service, their music service. You know what I'm saying? They even do grocery stores with grocery now where you can get, and it's all a part of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it took them 14 years to build that customer base, that clientele, in order for them to turn a net profit. And now they're one of the biggest companies in the world. It's crazy.
You got to see the bigger picture. But hey, Post, I got a few people in here requesting to speak.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I really did. I want to hear the public, man. I want to hear what everybody has.
Let's see here. Let me
Who we got?
let me get them. Let me check them. Bow. There we go. Bow. All right. All right.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's good? What's good, Postal? What's good? What's good, Noah?
What's good, Cinedex? What's going on, man?
Nothing much. It's nice to see an actual space, you know? Instead of those therapy sessions we be getting.
Yeah, man. This space is going to be about, this thing has been going on for 20 years that, you know, people who don't prefer Xbox, and I'm not saying all people, but a lot of people want a lot of people didn't want Microsoft in the gaming space to come into the gaming space. And around the time they came into the gaming space, the consensus was that it was going to fail anyway, right? And for the last 20 years, and even as recently today, people want Xbox out of the gaming space. They want Sony, for some reason, to dominate, well, Sony and Nintendo, pretty much to dominate the gaming space by themselves. But if Microsoft exit, that's just going to lead a doorway for another corporation to come in and fulfill that space.
Yeah.
Go ahead. We're trying to see what people think about this old adage of wanting Xbox out of the gaming space.
Listen, let's keep this a buck. A lot of these supposed Sony fans, or supposedly, most of them, actually PS4 fans, most of them you ask about the PS1, PS2, they don't know what they're talking about. That's one. But those who do, the thing is, they're afraid of MS's pockets, afraid of Xbox's pockets, man. They're afraid of what they're about to do with this generation. So when they add up the game space, out of fear of, what are they gonna do? Because they don't want what Xbox went through last generation, where they didn't have all the exclusive games, or they didn't have all this time deals. Like, remember in 360 gen, Mass Effect was a time exclusive. And Oblivion was a time exclusive. Like, these major third-party games were siding with Xbox. And they don't want that to happen with PlayStation, where they're virtually like second-class citizens, like what Xbox was this whole last generation. And that's really where it's coming from. And they're on top for so long.
Yo, what happened? What
Well,
happened?
I don't know. He kind of fell out, but the next one, go ahead, Phillips, and then take and go.
Yo, what's up? Yeah, I'm just paying attention to it. I just don't care. I just play games wherever I go, so I just don't really just don't care about console war and shit like that. Because I own an Xbox, I can easily just go there and beat up people in there and go about my business.
Exactly.
Nah, bro, pick a side. Not just playing. Nah, that's, hey, nah, that was up, man. And me too, bro. I got both platforms, dog. I'm not missing out on anything. I'm missing out if a good game come out on the Switch.
Yo, try out Lost Judgment.
Which game?
Lost Judgment.
Lost
Yeah, I've been
Judgment.
hearing good
Don't.
things about Lost Judgment.
Okay.
It'll get dark. It'll get real dark real quick if you don't know if you don't know what you're gonna do. It'll get real dark real quick.
All right. I'm
Okay.
gonna when it go on sale, I'm gonna check it out, man. Just for you, bro. I'm gonna check it out. And I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it.
Yo, I got some screenshots on it right now. So no, not screenshots, like game clips on it.
Hey, post it on Twitter and tag
I
me,
already
bro.
did. All right. Oh, I already
Okay.
did.
Yeah,
I
tag me in it.
All right.
Tag me in it. That's what's up.
Thanks for coming up, bro.
Because I just stick on my fighting games. So I stick on fighting games mostly. So
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Appreciate you. You have any more got an opinion on the whole fanboys one on Xbox side, or you just gaming, just doing your thing?
game do my thing. If someone texts me, I text them. Or if they text me and say some shit, they need to step up.
I bet. So hey, the challenge is out, man. If you think you're good in fighters, man, my boy Philip Sin 22, he said come holler at him. He got them hands for you. But hey, let's get Senadez back in here. I don't think he got to finish his point. Appreciate that, Philip.
Alright.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, virtually what I was trying to say is they built up a fan base from hating Xbox and being on top and Patreon and Super Chat, all these channels, and they used it as a lot of like building up. And now when it's looking, the tides are about to turn, and for the better. Not that maybe they won't be as bad as the Xbox One generation, but not as good. It hurts their brand and hurts their image and hurts their followers. So that's virtually what I say.
Yeah. So you think it's more of like they fear that Xbox is going to lock down a lot of the content on their platform, and they're going to force them to buy the console. And you said for like the YouTubers, the PlayStation YouTubers, you feel like they'll lose subscribers if Xbox gains momentum. That's pretty much
Because yeah, they're not flipping for nothing. They have to have because they're gonna look like hypocrites if they try to flip, and so they're kind of dug in, and that's why you be seeing more and more dumb arguments as the time goes by. You know.
That's a good point, bro. Maybe they in too deep, man. Maybe behind closed doors and when the camera's off, they love it. They love the Xbox, but
Yeah, bro. You
front,
hear one
bro.
of these spaces? I heard one of these spaces where this man said, "Oh, Halo is so easy. You're gonna think it's good or something." This man is delusional.
I know what you're talking about. Appreciate you saying thanks, man. We gotta get some more.
Tay 24, man. Go ahead, Tay.
Man, what's up, Noah? What's up, Post Up?
What's
up,
good, brother?
What's up?
Boy, I got the spaces going, huh?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man. Yeah.
What up, guys? What up?
All right, so we got PlayStation Fanboys on Xbox out the console space, and why? I know that's a question that we all really, what I'm saying, really want to know. I think it got a lot to do with really kind of how our generation went, with the Xbox One, the Don Mack situation, how everything kind of fell apart. You know what I mean? Because if we all real gamers, I'm pretty sure most of us on like the PS1, PS2, and then the Xbox came out. You know what I'm saying? Niggas jumped on the Xbox. It was hot. It was promoting graphics and all that.
Facts.
And, you know what I'm saying? And niggas jumped on it. Then the 360 came hard. You know what I mean? Halo 2, Halo 3 in that generation. Other games too, but and then I think when Xbox brought like the live experience, you know what I mean? Like being online, being in parties and shit. Like they kind of took that to the next level, and we was eating on that Call of Duty around that era.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And then Halo already brought us together. You know, we was a system link, and like just the whole ecosystem of Xbox has kind of been leading in that area. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And to your point, not to cut you off, but speaking of Call of Duty, you know that whole marketing team that Xbox had for the 360. That's the same marketing team that I don't know if they're using it now, but I know they were using it during the PS4 era. That same team of marketing. That's why
Right.
the PlayStation 4 marketing is so similar to what the Xbox 360 had back in the day. If you really, look at it. But you're
Right.
going to make another point.
Yeah. And then another point is, so let's be real. When it comes to like market share, PlayStation outselling Xbox. Most Xbox fanboys need to understand. Even though I prefer Xbox, PlayStation got the market share on lock when it comes to in-home consoles. Them not being a Western company.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain people that don't fool with Xbox just because it's in the United States. And so why that make us wonder why we take this Game Pass route. And so, us doing something different ruffles feathers. You know what I'm saying? The way they beat up on this last generation is like, now we at a point where we done kind of found our pacing, figured out what we're about to do and how we're about to attack the market. I mean, the shit is really clear and simple. You know what I'm saying? Like the mobile market is booming. I remember, I think you posted the other day where it said that Apple had made the most money.
No, I just responded to it. I was trolling. I was in my troll mode, but
right.
Yeah, that statistic came out from the Apple versus Epic Games case, and I sent it to somebody else. They basically, with Apple Arcade, they made $19 billion in revenue in 2019, which was more money than Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft combined, and that's off a subscription. So there's people running around here saying subscription services don't work. Meanwhile, Apple, they ain't even in the gaming space in the same way, and they made a $19 billion. So something's got to give.
Right. And then so us. So I think that's what Xbox attacking. Now it's a huge case of people saying, well, if you pushing Game Pass so much, then what about the console? I believe, and even Nadella said that shit. They behind Xbox, but I believe that at the end of the day, all this shit, Xbox has to have a console. It's just plain and simple. It has to have a console. So I think that with more Game Pass subscribers, you get more consoles sold. But just being able to do something different, shake up the industry, you know what I'm saying? Just like Netflix put Blockbuster out of business and all that stuff. It's the way the game is. And when you do something different, everybody got a problem with it. Everybody want to think they the professional and can say what's going to work and what's not going to work. And then motherfuckers crack your face. Like Mark Zuckerberg, like Jeff Bezos. You mad because you missed out. They asked you to get down with the plan. You ain't want to run with the shit. You know what I'm saying? And I always tell people too, and I know I'm running, my bad, bro. I always tell people too, though, we going back and forth about whether it work or not. Man, look, at the end of the day, it's Microsoft. That's their bread. If that's what they gonna do, that's what they gonna do. They giving you an opportunity to have value, bro. Why when Game Pass started getting promoted and pushed, all of a sudden motherfuckers saying, support the developers. Nigga, the developers getting paid. They wouldn't be doing the deal if they wasn't. What are we talking about? This is just giving us another option to play games. And so I guess to answer the question, bro, it just, hey, that's why they mad. Is something different.
I'd say I agree with you, bro. That's a good point. And then, just to piggyback, a lot of people who will be like, Game Pass not supporting developers. Them developers get their money up front for the most part, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But some of those same people will turn around and buy a used game from GameStop, and the developer don't see a penny.
Get nothing.
I appreciate you, Tate. Tate, I'm gonna let Ricky say a little bit, and we'll pass the mic around.
Thanks, Tate. Go ahead, Young. You've been waiting for a minute.
Hey, I was trying to make a point, but I actually do got to go like literally right now, so my bad. I was just trying to wait and let other people talk. I don't like to yell over them,
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, on that other space, I mean, by the time I joined, they were mostly wrapping it up. So the whole financial bullshit, I actually don't know what they were going on about. So I can't really like say. I mean, by the time I joined, he just ran on a rant about Xbox. That's about Select. So I didn't get to hear anything informative. I don't know if that's how the whole space was, or if they were actually like talking good about shit. I don't know, because I was there for like 15 minutes, and that's all. That's the only shit that he really said. So if
Okay.
anything good was said, I wasn't there for that. But no, I mean it's funny as hell because in the interview you brought up earlier with Jim Ryan or whatever, he's talking about like, oh, I want to be able to see PlayStation go to cloud, and I want to see millions of people play it. All of a sudden, cloud gaming is just a good thing. It's suddenly just a great thing all over Twitter is what I've been seeing the last hour. Suddenly, it's amazing, and I don't know if y'all follow this YouTuber named Destin. He's
Yeah.
he's a really informative YouTuber. Like,
My
yeah.
GM.
Yeah. Like he has a lot of good content about like the behind the scenes shit that happened in Xbox the last 6 years, and like everything Phil Spencer had to do, like shit like that I try to speak on sometimes in these spaces. Like he was tweeting it too, and he was like, "Oh man, now that PlayStation's doing it, I suddenly think it's a good idea." And like obviously it's sarcasm, but like people already. The second that they haven't even done it yet, but the second that the PlayStation CEO says, "Oh, we want to do this," suddenly it's not a problem anymore. But if Xbox is doing something, it's a problem, and it's going to be like that for the next couple of years, just because, I mean, in the 360 era, if you wanted to have all games, and you had to have both systems, and then the one launched with a few titles, and after that, it was nothing. And I mean, a couple people already hit that point before me, but yeah, the whole wave of people that switched to they didn't really want an Xbox. They felt like they didn't need one for years.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want they don't want that wave to go back, full the other way, or they don't want it to be balanced at all. They want to be able to just, be on their PlayStation, and that's all they need to do any of their content, do any of that. And then whenever you see people going like, "Oh, Halo's going to be, the best shooter this holiday," all of a sudden people are tweeting like, "Oh no, man, Cold War, blah blah blah." It's like, it's funny that you're bringing up Cold War, because Cold War only seems to be a good game for at least from your mouths, like whenever Xbox titles are in the conversation. Because whenever Xbox titles aren't in the conversation, everyone over there agrees that Cold War is trash. It's a piece of trash. What the hell's Activision doing? Modern Warfare was fine. They didn't need to do Cold War. So I mean, like for the next couple of years, we're gonna keep seeing this, especially on Twitter. I mean, that's all Twitter is. It's just it's clout chasing, it's bullshit, and that's all we're gonna see for the next couple of years until things are more balanced out. And as for PlayStation outselling Xbox, I mean, around the rest of the world, yeah, you're definitely gonna see that. I mean, yeah, sure, Xbox outsells every now and then in the States and all, but I mean, after the last generation, it's not like Xbox is going to just come back and immediately be outselling everywhere. But if you look at the numbers, it's not like they're far behind. It's still doing good, and that's not the only reach that they need to do to reach people anymore with xCloud and all that. Like, I have a friend that barely plays on an Xbox because he's out for like 2 weeks at work at a time, then he's back home for a week, so he just plays Xbox games on his phone. That's all he needs.
Awesome.
You making a good point, man.
Good point.
But yeah, no, I actually do got to go. I'm in this trade school class that's starting, so y'all have a good night, man.
Hey, you too. Thanks for that, Young. Pastor, I know a lot of people going. I'm just getting the people that's been waiting for a minute. Pastor, speak your piece, and then I'm going to get to everybody else. You there, Pastor? If you're not there, Pastor, we're going to move on.
You hear me?
Yeah, speak your piece.
Yeah. Someone, my headset was working. Let someone go ahead and something that's working good here. I can't myself.
You're really low in the background, Pastor. All right. So we're gonna move on. Oz, go ahead, Oz.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I was in the other space too. And the thing to me that kind of boggles my mind, I think everyone has this misconception on how bad Xbox did. Yes, they did terribly last generation, but they still sold 50 million copies, 50 million consoles or more. That's still pretty significant. And also too, you have to put into retrospect, look at the Wii U. The Wii U did terribly, probably less than 20 million or something like that, some terrible number, and then it came back with a Switch. We can't expect all of a sudden Xbox is going to explode. It takes time. But one of the key things that I think about, especially from that last chat, is I'm glad you brought up Apple. The Apple situation, they made a whole bunch of money on their arcade subscription service, and no one's asking like, how the hell did they do that on the subscription service? because they had the users, and they don't even have. I don't even think they have that many users on our Apple Arcade to be making that much money. So
they have a low entry fee too, $4.99. That's it.
Exactly. Like the thing is, that's one thing I hate about Twitter. Sometimes is like you got these like fake business, master's degree people coming in here, and they're just saying stuff that don't make sense. I'm like, the evidence don't match up with what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now Jim Ryan goes on there today and literally says Phil Spencer's exact phrasing in regards to how you're going to reach hundreds of millions of people. Because there's no way PlayStation's going to hit hundreds of million people on the console space only. There's no way. I don't care what nobody says. They can say, "Oh, PlayStation sold 100 million consoles." None of their products are selling hundreds of. God of War is not selling. One game is not selling 100 million copies. There's at most they're probably selling the 2018 version probably sold maybe 20 million, maybe. You know what I mean? So if you want to hit that huge install base or attachment rate, you're gonna have to have your platform on multiple different devices. And when you said that, I literally laughed. I literally saw the article and it went all over Twitter, and I'm just like, this is exactly. And I think Jin Park, he's one of the guys from Washington Post. He posted it and he said, "Oh, I like what Jim Ryan had to say," and then a whole bunch of people bashed him and said that's exactly what Phil Spencer said. And he's like, "Well, it does sound like Phil Spencer." No shit, it sounds like Phil Spencer. That's exactly what he said. It's exactly what he said. Like, what did you expect? Like, come on. Like, it's like, come on. People who gave me Twitter just blow my mind. Because I'm just like, guys, what Microsoft is doing is smart business. You know what I mean? Like, Microsoft knows they have a head up on this particular situation because they have the tech, the resources, everything that they need. The only thing I think is consistent on Twitter that they need is good content. Period. Once the content comes, you're going to start seeing things fall into place, and people are going to be like, "Oh shit, damn, they actually have something going here." That's all they need. Good content, and they'll be just fine. In terms of the console thing, in terms of where the hardware go away, I don't think the hardware's ever going away. I don't know why people are saying it's going to go away. You need that hardware, that name, Xbox hardware. The symbolism of it is important in the business.
Okay.
And I think the Apple case kind of exemplified what Xbox feels about, or Microsoft feels about the Xbox console. They don't care if they're taking a loss on the hardware. They know how important it is to have it there to make sure that whole ecosystem still stays in place and that perception of it stays in place. They know how important it is. So getting rid of it, it's going to ruin that perception. That's all I
agree. I agree with you. Hey, real quick though, how do you feel about the roadmap that Microsoft has laid out so far? Like the games that we know are coming in the next year or so.
I mean, for me, because be honest with you, this is my first Xbox. Like, Xbox Series X is my first Xbox. I've enjoyed it.
Welcome to the community, man.
Yeah, no, that's what it's crazy. I used to be like someone like that, it's all about Sony, all about PlayStation, things of that nature. And then I said, let me just take a leap. I think one of the key things I think personally that is the biggest fault for PlayStation is that sometimes they have those dry spells in content. Yes, 2018 and 2020 was pretty good, but before that, there's sometimes like God of War 2018 came out, and then before that, there was like not really a big game for me to really play. So there's like dry spells within PlayStation that you're not really playing content. Just like right now, that's a huge dry spell. Like the last game, Deathloop came out, and then they're gonna have a dry spell until February. That's pretty significant for me. So for me with Xbox, I'm playing games on Game Pass. Just I'm playing Mass Effect. I'm playing all this other different content, and I've been enjoying it. In terms of the roadmap, I think it's good. I don't see what the huge hoopla is. I mean, you have Redfall and Starfield guaranteed next year. You have Halo and Forza this holiday. I mean, it's just like a very similar PlayStation lineup. So it's not a bad lineup, and I don't know why it gets bashed.
You might have more than that though, but
it might have more than that, and I don't know why it gets bashed. I'm like,
and don't forget, you got to play Tale 2, Atomic Heart,
Atomic Heart, Scorn. You have Stalker 2.
They went Game Pass. It's huge, bro. But I want to get the next speaker. Right here. I appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Oz. T, come on, T.
Yo,
what's good, T?
I'm good, man. What about you?
No, we chilling, man. Just having a conversation. What's going on? What's on your mind?
So
What I think is I think it's more of a superiority complex that PlayStation fanboys have. Like during the PlayStation 4 era, obviously you know what happened. PlayStation dominated, and now that the tides are against them, obviously they have that complex. And I kind of feel for them because obviously they invested in a platform that, maybe in the next 10 years might not even be competing because Microsoft is trying to, go way bigger than just a console platform. They're trying to go big like mobile, cloud, everywhere, literally. They're just trying to push Game Pass everywhere, whereas Sony is limited to just a box right now. I mean, obviously they have PlayStation Now, but it's kind of, it's whack. But so all I think is just they have a superiority complex, and that's it.
All right, thanks, see. All right, Flint, go ahead, Flint.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we get you.
Hey, what up, fellas?
What's good?
Let me say this. Microsoft just did they put down a big domino, and they put Windows Game Pass in Windows 11. Period. It's 1.3 or 1.8 billion computers on the face of this on Earth. All they need is 5% of that to just sign up for Game Pass. Sony dudes don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear it because Microsoft don't need the console no more. I play some games, cloud games, on my computer, and it runs butter smooth. I use a wired controller, and it runs smooth. They don't want to hear that because they, like the other previous guy said, it's a complex, like a bully.
A seniority complex, yeah.
Yeah. They kicked your ass for 8 years, and they expect it to continue. Okay, Phil said, okay, cool. We're going to do this. We're going to put it on Windows. We're going to put it on computers. We're going to put it on everything with the screen. And sit back and watch me whoop your ass now. We don't care about this console. We want that $15 to $10 a month, period. And all you got to do is just sign up for it, period. That's the only thing you got to do. You ain't got to buy anything. And Verge just released an article this morning saying that they prepping to release that. I think you posted this a while ago about that stick, that streaming stick.
Yeah.
They getting ready to release it around the holidays. So it's they don't want to hear that. They want to say, okay, man, we ain't got no ammunition to kick your tail no more. Period. And it's a strategy that I personally find enjoyment with because I always post on my little Twitter feed, Game Pass is the market leader. Boy, they hate that. Well, they ain't sell nothing. It ain't about the console no more. Game Pass is the platform. Period.
All right, thanks, Flint.
All right.
Appreciate that.
Hey, Star, go ahead, Star.
Yo, what's good, man? What's up, Post Up?
What's good,
up,
Star?
Star?
How's it going, man?
What's good, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start these spaces like this. If you're an Xbox gamer or just a gamer in general, now's the great time to buy a PlayStation 4 used. You could go into GameStop. I'm serious. I did it. You could go into GameStop. Yo, they got God of War for $19. You can't beat it. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. It's a very good time to buy a freaking PlayStation. I'm serious, man. I already got a library right now. You know what I'm saying? I got Spider-Man. I got Miles Morales. I got Ghost of Tsushima. I got my Wipeout. You know what I'm saying? But let me put it like this. First of all, a lot of us here, maybe even all of us here, came up with PlayStation. Some of us came up with PlayStation as children. Like basically that PlayStation replaced like one of y'all parents. Like your mom sat you in front of that thing and went to go play bingo or whatever. Your pops jetted to go to work, whatever the case may be. It's a name brand. It's not going anywhere. And I
Facts.
think this is what it's based on. It's based on, and I'm going to your title. Why do they want Xbox out of the console space? It's fear. It's insecurity. You know what I'm saying? It's basically, oh shit. They grew up with the PlayStation like a lot of us did. Some of us just broke off and went, to Xbox, went to Nintendo, went PC. You see what I'm saying? But it's a name brand. And I think those PlayStation fans, the insecure ones, need to understand, look, the PlayStation ain't going nowhere. You see that PS, it's synonymous with gaming. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. And it's a lot of insecurity. And again, it's like somebody said, like they were at the pool table for 7 years, talking shit to everybody else or talking about everybody else. They was at the cool table in the lunchroom for a good 7-8 years bragging. Now they about to get off the cool table. They got to get up. They got to pick their tray up, step the fuck off because Xbox is coming. But I don't want to make it about Xbox. I think the problem is, like I said, the vocal minority, those insecure ones, the ones that feel threatened, the ones that just want to talk shit and start trouble, that's the problem. They're the ones that really don't want PlayStation to do nothing. But then again, you got people in the industry, they're just like us. They grew up with PlayStation 2, so they have a clear bias. You see what I'm saying? That dude from Digital Foundry, didn't he say some shit like, I don't even want Microsoft in the business? I don't want Xbox in the gaming business?
Yeah, that was during the Don Matrix era. He definitely said that. And he verified his bias. I think quite a few people in the industry verified their bias with PlayStation because...
Yeah, exactly. And if that's imagine that. So they're in the industry, right? But then you have legions of fans that play PlayStation daily that think the same way. It's just some of them are here, some of them are in YouTube, and they just talk that shit. You see what I'm saying? But it really comes from an insecure standpoint because they're threatened. They feel threatened now. Now Microsoft is opening their wallet and that shit scares them. You think, and this is the crazy thing, just like I said, some of the industry has a bias and they're scared. You don't think Sony's scared right now? That they know that Microsoft has that wallet? They know Microsoft got that wallet and they opening it up? That's why they doing the shit they doing. Square Enix got deals with Sony. They got exclusive deals. How is it that games are landing on everything but the Xbox? They're doing it on purpose because they know that if you want to play said game, then you're going to have to buy one of their consoles. You're not going to have to buy, you don't need to buy Xbox. You're going to need to buy a PlayStation. You see what I'm saying?
That's why. Let me bounce this off you real quick, right?
Sure.
So it sounds to me like a lot of these fanboys that want Xbox out, they don't realize competition is what drives the excellence in the video game market. Sony doesn't have an incentive to go acquire these studios and put their best foot forth in their games if there isn't another platform to compete with, right?
But that's more of the reason. Yeah, that's more of the reason why they want them out, because then Sony don't have to spend that money. You see what I'm saying? Sony doesn't have to compete. It's like Nintendo. There was a point in time where Nintendo actually competed with the other brands out there. Nintendo actually competed with Sony initially. Nintendo competed with Sega, basically kicked Sega out, more or less, in the console space. You see what I'm saying? With the help of PlayStation, of course. But that's the thing. If Microsoft is out, then they don't have no competition but themselves. You know what I'm saying?
How is that good for the consumer?
It's not at all. They don't understand. But this is the thing. You're trying to be rational with the irrational. You see what I'm saying? You're basically telling everybody, look, competition breeds, greatness, basically. Like, competition breeds competitiveness. You know what I'm saying? And without that, then they don't even got to try. You see what I'm saying? They don't have to push. They don't have to invest in studios. They could just continue investing in marketing and putting that illusion in people's faces. But like I said, again, it falls down to, this is a name brand. This is like Pepsi. This is like Coke. This is like McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? It's not going anywhere. It's on, like I said, It's synonymous with gamers.
With
You see
gamers.
that PlayStation logo, you know what it is. You know what it stands for. You see what I'm saying? And again, they grew up with it. They don't want change. They don't want Xbox. They hate the X. They hate the color green. You know what I'm saying? It's like gangs, yo. It's like Bloods and Crips. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm serious. It's that deep. Like, and for someone to say that it's not, come on, man. This is reality that we're dealing with. Like I said, you got a lot of I call them fuck boys that are up here like that. That's all they do. This is all they do is talk shit about the other console. And again, like I said, this is a really good time to get a PlayStation. If you don't got one, this is a great time to experience those games. Yo, like I said, I went into GameStop and I was shocked at how many Japanese games there was on the wall where there wasn't the same Japanese games for the Xbox.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, this is crazy.
All right, thanks.
My end result, my end thing is they don't want Microsoft in the business. They just don't. It's
I'm gonna get to
competition.
everybody else, but I know
Appreciate
B.
that,
Lou
bro.
been waiting for a minute. B. Lou, then I'm gonna get to everybody else. Go ahead, B. Lou.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you hollering at me, man. I just wanted to man, all this stuff y'all speak is facts, bro. But I think the bottom line for me is, man, I don't do no pocket watching, man. I don't give, bro. I don't give two fucks about what somebody else spend their money on. All I know is this just save me money, and for me, it's great for me as the gamer, as the consumer. I'm not out here trying to figure out nobody else's pockets, man. And that's a weird concept to me for someone that's supposed to be out here enjoying these games to be out here trying to financially analyze somebody else's pockets. Bro, let me tell you something. I got no problem figuring out my own shit. You feel me? So, bro, I'm not gonna be out here trying to figure out what these billionaires supposed to be doing with their billions, bro. I can't do it, man. I ain't got that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, I just wanted to throw that out there. But all this is facts with y'all talking, man. Yeah, but to be fair though, in the other space, it was some good shit being dropped in there. I mean, it was all speculation though, and then that's the other thing. Even if I was into checking somebody else's pockets, I don't have the information to check said pockets. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just out here just making people mad about it. That's
a good point, bro.
You just get mad about it. You gonna make up, so why not make up the good shit, then be happy about it? You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point, bro.
Good point, B. Thanks for coming up. All right, we got King, and then we got Ricky. Go ahead, King, and then Ricky.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off of what a couple people said here. So let me just break it down in these 3 points, right? People talk about competition, but anybody who's been ever in a competitive setting on any level, you welcome a competitor. When I was coming up playing basketball, I had coaches tell me the only way you're going to get better is by playing against somebody that's better than you. That's number one. Number two, in gaming, I realized once Nintendo won with the Wii, once the Wii hit 100 million sold consoles, the console conversation of who was winning was over. It was over. It was over. So this posturing about, between Xbox and PlayStation, it's cool. It's a good conversation, but the tea leaves been all over the place. Number one, everybody asks whether or not Microsoft could come out with a console. Could you please turn around and look at the Surface Pro? You know how many PC manufacturers out there? Lenovo, Asus. Why do they come out with a Surface Pro? So for me, I'm not worried about whether or not Microsoft is going to still come out with a console because they come out with PCs they don't even have to bring out. So that's a non-starter of a conversation right there. If you need a better example, just look at the PC space. They bring out a Surface. They'll bring out a game console. That's number two. Number three, at this point in time, this is about content, right? And Microsoft is trying to play up to the point where they want to get as much content as possible because it just works for them at the end of the day. But if we're having a conversation about, what you prefer to play on, Apple just made 19 billion. If it ain't getting no more subjective than that, that tells you that the audience of people who's going to play games is all over the place. So Sony still got a place in the game industry because it's still growing. There's no reason for you to worry about whether or not PlayStation is going to be here tomorrow because this is a growing market. So it's not even it's a cool conversation to say, yo, my team is better than your team. But at the end of the day, if the whole league is growing, I'm growing too.
Facts, bro. That's it's better for all of us. The
Yeah.
prices get cheaper. You know what I'm saying? The more companies we got competing for our dollars, the entry cost is lower.
Yep. Ricky, go ahead, Ricky.
All right. First of all, I mean, the question. I like the question you got there. Why do they want Xbox out of the console space? If that does happen, if it did happen, I'm wondering what else they gonna do? What else they gonna talk about? Because I look at all these PlayStation centric channels. All they do is bash the Xbox. Xbox doing this bad, Xbox doing that bad, but they don't tell you the good of what PlayStation's doing. They just tell you how bad Xbox is doing. But I did see this movie before. I remember one time when I was younger, we used to always go to Blockbuster Video, right? We all pick out a movie. It was like $5. So my mother go in there, spend about $30 for us to all get a movie. Then we pay another $10 for the popcorn or whatever. And then they had, Netflix came through. You paid just a subscription for that month. And then you watch as many movies you wanted to. And then besides that, then they had something called Redbox. So you just spend $1 for one night when you can watch it. And then you bring it back, spend another $1, get another movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now, let's say if those subs were at 30 million, that was a rumored number. And if you had that, and then you're getting $15, we'll just use 15, it could be whatever, and you're hitting $450 million a month, the competition has to get a piece of that pot, because if you're making $200 million games, just one of your AAAs, and you're making $450 a month just on the subscription service, that doesn't add up right. You got to get into that. You got to get in there. So they'll be forced to come up with some kind of answer, something to counteract that.
Yeah.
And to add to your point, Ricky, real quick, is everybody acting like they're spending $200 million on games every single month. Nah, that 200. If they spend $200 million on one game, that's prorated. That's prorated over 3 to 4 years of game development. So you making profit every single month while you spend one budget a year. Like, people math be all the way off. I'd be like, what are you talking about?
Think about that. If you're a company, and if they really were at 30 million subs, you got to call a meeting right now and say, look, we need some of that. Like, look, we need $450 million a month coming in, along with whatever we have coming in as you paying $70 for games or whatever. And you just can't ignore that. That if you ignore that, you're gonna be out of business. If you ignore that, the PlayStation damn games are gonna be on Game Pass. If you ignore that, that's what'll happen.
All right, thanks, Rick, man. That was a very great point. Gaming, come on, Gaming, what you got, man? Talk to us.
Yo, what's up? Thanks for having me on, y'all.
Yes,
so
sir.
Check this out. I mean, look, every space that I enter, I like to throw a little balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the last space that was in that everyone's talking about, it was very infuriating listening to that until the other gentleman came in, the CFO, because he was able to balance that whole conversation up, right? When I look at Game Pass, I don't think any of us nobody's qualified to really think about, oh, well, if you have this much amount and this and that, because the truth is somebody in Microsoft has all the figures and they're the ones that realize that there's something here, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So they're doing it, which means Microsoft is not going to spend that money. Microsoft is not going to make that acquisition to buy ZeniMax if they didn't feel like there was something there, right? Now, the balance to all of this, and where I think PlayStation people might have a concern, and I feel like I have a concern still, which it's still not going to be answered for years on end, which is what's going to happen to the quality of the games. Like, do they even concern themselves with that? Because that's the problem with Netflix. Like, if I see a trash show, I'm like, whatever. It's on my subscription service. I ain't even worried about this, right? So you kind of like move on to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing that concerns me is how game development can change moving forward with this kind of model, because you do have a situation where if you're going to do a subscription service, part of what you're going to have to do is gauge on whether or not a certain game is bringing you enough, like keeping people on the platform, right? Like some games are going to like make you play longer than others and whatnot. And then you can start moving into a system where it rewards game time. And I always go back to what happened with mobile gaming, because mobile gaming, they started with trying to do a lot of premium, pay for games, and they realized people didn't want to pay for games, and they changed to free to play.
Free to play.
And that's a concern that can happen in this space. So if I hear a PlayStation person complain on that, it makes sense, because they may not want gaming to change where Game Pass might elicit that change from the market, right? And that's the only real concern I have with Game Pass, because as of right now, today I can say Game Pass is an amazing value. That's why everybody's a proponent of it who actually uses Game Pass. But 5-6 years from now, I don't know how that changes gaming, right? Maybe they bring games out in chapters, right? Like, hey, here's chapter 1 of this story-based games, right? Like story-based games could start partitioning itself out, that it might not release everything at one time because they want you to have the service moving forward. So this is speculation at this point. Nothing can tell me whether or not this is going to happen or not, but it is a concern, and I think that concern is what PlayStation people might have that makes sense. They don't want to see gaming change overall.
Okay.
Hey, I appreciate your point of view. That's a really good perspective, gamer. And just to follow up with that, I think the market will decide. The people, the buyers, the people that are spending money, they're going to decide on what they want. If Game Pass fails in content, then Game Pass is going to fail altogether. If people, want the big AAA titles, that's where they're going to spend the money. So that's at the end of the day, that's what's going to determine, what will exist in the future. But as you said, I can understand that being a concern. But appreciate you though, bro.
All right, we're gonna go with let T speak his piece. Then we're gonna go to Tehran, and then we're gonna go to PlayStation Faithful, Mr. Hart over there. We know he got some shit to say. Go ahead, T.
Yo, so look at Xbox roadmap for like 2023 and 2024, bro. Like you got Avowed, you got Fable, Everwild, Forza Motorsport, you got Indiana Jones, etc. Like there's so many games coming to the Xbox platform within the next 2 to 3 years, and next year is looking pretty big with Starfield, Redfall, Contraband. Yeah, a lot of games, man. So obviously Sony fanboys, they're gonna fearmonger because all these acquisitions that Microsoft are making are going to become beneficial in the next 2 to 3 years. And there's going to be more coming. So maybe some of their favorite games will become exclusive in the next 2 to 3 years. And this is a concern that Sony fanboys have. They're scared, therefore fear-mongering. And this literally, like, I don't get it, because I own a PlayStation 5 for pretty much simple reasons. I want to play the games like Spider-Man, God of War, etc. But they are not open to trying new things, which doesn't make sense to me.
All right, thanks for that, T. Made some very good points right there. Tehran, go ahead, Tehran.
What's up? Post up my Chicago brother.
What's good, brother?
Now I will
Chicago.
I will tell you straight up, before I even say anything, I am a pony, stallion, Pegasus type brother.
Oh, we know. I know. I see you in the comment section. Bro.
Now, straight up, this is the thing. For your friend who just said Sony people are scared of Xbox is not true. That's not real, friend. He mentioned next year as far as games coming out. I want God of War. I'm not playing no racing game. That means no Gran Turismo for me. I don't play that. But God of War, that's in there. A lot of other exclusives that's probably coming out next year from Sony, they're in there. But nobody on the PlayStation side is afraid of Xbox. The thing that someone mentioned before him is what we're afraid of, the quality of games going downhill. That's what we think about when you mention Game Pass. Here's another thing I'll tell you. and I'm gonna say this, and this is no disrespect to none of my Xbox friends in this thing. When you mention Game Pass and I see that shit come up, my brain turns off. I do not want to hear about it. I don't care about it. That's just I'm keeping it real with you, right? Listen,
as you should.
I listen to UNZ and I love y'all shows. Y'all should be having me tripping out. And your boy, I know another brother from Chicago. You told him say Game Pass. That shit was so funny to me. So beyond that, Game Pass is good value for people that's in the Xbox community. The Xbox community, they needed that. They also needed Bethesda, which is I think is a good acquisition for the Xbox community. Here's my thing that I'm coming from as a person that buys a lot of games all the time. I would love it if sales numbers comes out and they tell us what Game Pass is at and also how many games are being sold on the Xbox console. This is important, right? For me, I care about the health of the industry as a whole. That includes PC, Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation. I want everybody to do well. Nobody wants Xbox to go away. I don't want Xbox to go away. I want Xbox to be like, quote, great Kratos, do better. That's it.
Okay, player. Okay.
I can respect that.
You. Good shit, bro.
Well, before you get started, what do you would know as Cash Apps, because we might have to throw people out of here in that kind of room.
Oh man.
I need that because Mr. Hart is about to exit stage.
My Cash App in my profile, player. I got
your Cash App post. Okay, just
don't hesitate.
Listen,
I will not turn
if
down.
If Mr. Hart goes left, just be looking at the Cash App. Okay.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Hart. Go ahead, Mr. Hart. Yeah, buddy. I got you, Pastor. Hold on, I got you, Pastor. Go ahead, Mr. Hart.
What's up, Mr. Hart?
Hey, you known around this community, huh, Mr. Hart? That is crazy. Go ahead, man.
All right, so all right, I'm gonna stay as straight and not as I'm not trying to be as messy tonight. I'm gonna try. Okay, let me try. All right, my messy meter is down to 0 right now. Okay, all right, here we go. All right, so we were talking about how the Sony gamers are afraid and stuff like that. Like everything that your man just said, I agree with wholeheartedly. Because there ain't no Sony gamer that's afraid right now. If you look at the current climate, we are not afraid. We are not scared. We're none of that at all. So what I'm gonna say is, when I hear about Game Pass, I go 60, maybe 65.
Huh?
Maybe a 50 rated game. Maybe 55.
Let me but keep going.
You are not looking at the past year. You are not looking at the past year numbers. You are tripping.
All right.
No, let him rock.
Maybe I'm missing some. All right. So okay, but when I see that, I'm like, is this really what they think we are afraid of in the Sony community? Because we're not afraid of Game Pass. And now I will say this: Game Pass, yeah, their goal is to spread all over, but then we turn to the PlayStation community and we're looking at this and we're going, spread what? What are they spreading? What are they spreading? Games that we want to play, or are they spreading? Okay, I'm gonna stop because I'm being messy right now. I'm being messy.
Bro.
Talk your shit, Hart. Talk your shit.
Speak your piece. Say what you gotta say. Say what you got. I'm mentally know what everybody just said. I'm just gonna wait till everybody get their shit off. Okay, but speak the piece, brother.
Are they spreading games that they are gonna enhance the quality of gaming, or are they spreading games that, if you look, we still looking like, where you at, Xbox?
Okay.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna say. Game Pass, if you really want to look at that as the metric, then fine. You can look at that and say, all right, this is what we judging the Xbox community by. But then you turn around and you got Sony launching Kena. You got Sony launching Returnal. You got Sony launching Demon Souls. You got Sony launching. We got so many games that we launched. And for the holiday season, y'all kept saying
none of those games sold more than 1 million copies.
Y'all ain't got no games to play. Y'all ain't got no games to play for the holiday season. Oh, Sony gamers, y'all ain't got nothing. We already launching games every other week. We launching games.
Yeah,
We
but
got games to play.
Kena is not even exclusive for PlayStation. It's a time exclusive. What are you
When
talking
is it coming
about?
to Xbox?
Hold on.
All right,
Let him finish. Hold on, no. He go left.
Yeah, he gotta go.
Left that man. We gonna let him finish. Then Game, you can go, and then we gonna go from there. Just let him go. Just let him get it out.
Okay, so
all I have is one thing to say. One thing to say right after.
I got you,
so,
fast.
So here we go. So here's what I'm gonna say. We launching games, and I guess y'all are saying some of those games ain't exclusive. Those are coming to Xbox. Whatever the case may be, they launching right now, and we got them. And then you look at games like The Medium, that launched on Xbox, but it got upgraded. For some reason, it works better on PlayStation. I don't know how that happened.
No, Game. Go, Game. Let him finish. Come on. After he get through done, I'm a cleanse the whole space with Sage after he get through talking.
Come on now. Look at the quality of PlayStation. PS5.
Look at Destruction of All-Stars.
Come on now. Destruction. Oh, come on. We're gonna throw the one game that got rated low, so that we could say PlayStation is bad. Okay.
Check your cash out, Pulse.
Okay. All right. So, all right. You know what?
Hey, look, man. We can't. Hey, nah, bro. We having a conversation, bro. Like this. Everybody is.
Hold on. Look, I saw $25 on my Cash App, so I'm gonna mute Mr. Hart.
yo, Post. I just want to let you know you messy for that $900 I'm just gonna leave you alone.
Look, I saw $25 on my Cash App. It said hit the mute button.
Man,
hey, I'm sorry, Mr.
Let me
Hart.
just say this.
If I'm gonna pay $25 to mute you, I'm a mute. Hey, if you don't want to give me, look. Hey, look.
Somebody with some sense now, please.
Let me just
cut
say
the
this.
mic. I'm gonna cut the mic. Okay. Hey, Game, go ahead, Games Trailer.
Nah, and I understand that this man spent more lives than my ex-wife, man. Jesus.
Let me just say this.
Hold on, pass. I got you next.
Man,
Go ahead, Game Trailer.
This man mentioned Demon Souls Returnal. First of all, Returnal still what? 500,000 copies out of 10 million people of a PlayStation? Come on, man.
Talk that shit. Talk that shit.
What are we doing here, man? Listen, Mr. whatever your name is, you be capping on PlayStation for all these years. Now, after you beat all of these damn games, what else you want to play at end of the year? You want to continue playing Spider-Man and Returnal? Huh? Come on, man. Listen.
Man, he said Kena. No said. Jesus.
Yeah, Kena. Like, Kena is a time exclusive on Xbox. I could say Stalker 2 coming out next year, and that is bigger than half the damn games on PlayStation next year, or Crossfire X coming out this year. Come on, man. Listen, I understand Microsoft had a quote-unquote rough generation last year. They're turning around everything. All right? We're getting games. Like, we're getting really good games. Forza Horizon 5 is coming out, what, in 39 days? That's a high-quality racer from Playground Games. Then Halo coming out in December 8th. That's another high-quality game. So and then Stalker 2 coming out in April, and next year will be really, really good. So for Game Pass, this is the best value in gaming. I don't care what people say. Black 4 Blood is coming out, what, in October 12th? I don't have to pay for that. I could just put in Game Pass and try it out. So that's what Game Pass is about, man. You know, Game Pass is people could try out games, and some people can't afford $60 a games all the time. It's very hard to pay $60 games or $120 games. So why not? You just try in Game Pass. You like it, just buy it. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Bob.
Let me just say this.
Thanks, Game Trailers.
Yes. Let me just say that for those who want the Xbox to fail, that makes absolutely no sense. Number one, the discussion between Xbox, Sony, PlayStation, Nintendo, it's fun to talk about your team, right? And to talk about what your team is doing, right? We can have a discussion on it. The second reason why it makes absolutely no sense is because, as was said before, each company does make another company better. So they could watch at what one company is doing, and each company could improve. You see, Sony fans do not want Sony to get cocky like how they got in the PS3 era, right? If it is they got that cocky, the Sony fans would be in problems, right? So really and truly, it's not that it's not that they should hate Microsoft. They should want Microsoft to do good, right? And in addition to that, coming out there, in addition to that, I believe the Sony fans really they are afraid of Microsoft. You know why they are afraid of Microsoft? They are afraid of Microsoft because of their pocketbook. You see, there are games that the Sony fans wanted to play. Elder Scroll, they wanted to play that Starfield so bad. And they are afraid that these things become exclusive to Microsoft. So yes, they are afraid, but they are scared to say that they are afraid. That's my piece.
Yeah, that is 100% true, my dude, Pastor Joe. And they're scared because, Xbox has a variety of games. Mr. Hardy, whatever his name is, he's still playing these walking simulators for all these years. These guys don't understand they never even play a quality first-person shooter in years. Like, what the last time Sony even make a good first-person shooter? What, Killzone?
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, Killzone,
good.
Resistance.
You said good.
Like, what happened to Resistance and Killzone? Like, come on. Like, I'm still waiting for my SOCOM game. That's
How
what
you request to speak up here?
How these guys gonna say they're not scared? That's what surprises me, bro.
Hey, yo, Michael,
but can I ask this question real quick? What happens when Nintendo drops that next generation Switch? What are we going to be talking about?
They're not making a new Switch. They're not making a new Switch.
No, Switch to listen to.
They're not ready for that.
Wait, how request to speak?
Yo, they're about to drop an OLED that's about to sell hotcakes. What?
Yo.
Hey, yo, Z, yo, Michael.
Oh, Michael?
Yeah.
All right. How many niggas in here?
We got 54.
Yo, let me tell
I
you
got a bounty on Z, folks. Be on the lookout to catch that. Be get crazy.
Wait, how many niggas in here?
You got 72.
I can't go. I can't start talking, nigga. Talking at least 150 likes. Listen, like close this shit down. Now we about to go live. Entertainment bucks. You niggas is long-winded and no-friended. Don't let it go over your head, man. This shit is trash. You niggas on the goddamn therapy group here. What we need to do,
Man.
y'all need to close
The
this
Red
shit
Baron.
down. Y'all need to close this shit down.
You gonna let your man hijack your space like that?
Hey, Grid was right about it.
You know what I mean?
Hey, Grid was right. My shit won't grow.
Yeah, know what I mean? You want to come on the podcast? You know what I mean?
Nah, you coming in here throwing interference.
Nigga, holler at Triple B. You trying to get thrown in that motherfucking corn room? Put good. Holler at Triple B, all right? Man, we about to go live, man, on YouTube. Hey, FC Bound, you's a full-fledged cool, nigga. You lucky I'm on my pro-black shit, nigga. Because I ain't released that audio on your ass either, nigga. Yeah, nigga. Yeah. I'm on your head, nigga. Yeah.
Yo, put some more.
You let your man walk up here and derail the whole damn thing?
That white woman told you, you here playing the game with your homeboys? I let that shit slide, you whole ass nigga. Don't forget about that weird shit you did, nigga. Yeah. Fall back, nigga. I got to end your shit a long time ago, nigga, but I'm on my piece of shit right now. I mean, I just took my shot. I'm about to go hit the Jumar. But now we about to go live on YouTube. Come on, no, what post fat ass at?
Yo, you can't come in here and disrespecting the Godfather, goddammit.
Say your ass one. Hey, Tsunami, you was a whole fucking hoe too, nigga. You was your whole ass. And nigga, you could have committed a jack move, nigga. You know you ain't got $100, nigga. I still leave on my shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Nigga, I don't give a fuck. Actually, you in my Discord, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Don't get this bread, nigga.
Oh, man. I told you I wasn't gonna be around.
And man, Tsunami knocking the fuck. That's pride. Listen, I know you can beat Jack Move. I'ma stack the goddamn deck, nigga. We gonna bust this bag down, nigga.
Z, you crashing your affiliate show.
Hey, Tsunami, hop in the Discord. Hop in the other show when I let you know. All right, I'm out of here. Mic drop. Fuck you niggas. You know what I mean? Fuck you bitches. Not my beautiful black people. But fuck you niggas.
Yo, that's a hater right there.
I fucked their whole prayer meeting. They was in there serious as hell. I'm about to get the next gen in here. Don't.
Yeah, cut his mic. Cut his mic.
Who next? Hey, yo, Post.
He came in here and ransacked the space.
Hey, dude. Hey, dude. I'm gonna sit great on. What you guys do?
I don't know what's going on no more.
Oh man.
All I know is that Chris Hurt. He couldn't even stop from smiling all the cap he was spitting. You could just hear the smile on his face because him lying. He was like, we got Kane. I was like, what? We got Returnal. What? Come on.
Yo, he named 2 flops in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things I was going to say was
Pastor, before you said this man's favorite Returnal, a game that
y'all are frauding now. Y'all are frauding now. Okay.
500,000 people bought that damn game. Hey,
400,000 returned.
Here we go with the fraudery. Here we go.
How many people beat the game though?
How many people returned the game, brother? Think about that.
After they even beat the damn game.
Returnal.
Meanwhile, Nintendo out here selling 34 million Animal Crossings. What we talking about?
Oh, man.
Yep.
Ooh, they don't want to talk about that.
Smash
they don't want to talk about that.
And then when it comes to Xbox,
it's about
the best game
million.
Because Nintendo games actually sell. That's why.
What consoles and more games?
Just like y'all did with Psychonauts. Psychonauts is the best game ever. No, it ain't. Don't lie.
Hold on, did you play it?
Did you play it?
Yeah. Did you play it? Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of these companies, they're looking for a recurring income. A lot of these AAA games is taking a lot to make, especially with the 4K assets and all that. So although Sony is very skilled in making solo playing games, it is not something that it could be sustained, especially in the upcoming generations, because it's taken a lot of money to make these games, and the returns on it is not it can't be reconciled. So having a recurring income stream coming in like Game Pass, that is the model that plenty companies are trying to adapt. And right now, Microsoft is in the lead.
Now, what happened is PlayStation saw how much it cost to make The Last of Us 2, and their #1 game of the year was fucking Fallout Boy.
Hey, man, keep this shit going, man. Don't let that fucking nigga come here and fuck our shit up, man.
Fall Guys did way more numbers than any of y'all games, and that's the fucking damn near free to play. PlayStation want a game like that.
Yep.
They want a game where you come back to that shit and play it for hours and hours, day after day, buy the DLC. They want a game like that that's basically cost $1 million to make. So they realized, damn, we keep on making these blockbusters, but these indie films is hitting harder. Like, we need something like that. And
wait. So you saying that that we should have a microtransaction model for all games? Didn't we run EA out of the gaming industry?
No,
because of that.
No.
And tell them to come better. Didn't we do that to them?
Bro, there's different types of microtransactions. There's season passes. People are cool with those. They're a DLC. People are cool with those. People don't like loot boxes. That's the one people don't like. People don't like loot boxes, and people don't like pay to win type of weapons or something where you have an advantage by buying.
Oh, you best believe they're gonna have pay to win in Halo Infinite. So I don't
it's
know.
cosmetic.
I will say this: NBA 2K is a prime example that people do not care about microtransactions.
Facts.
100%. It's all about microtransactions, that game.
Let me ask you a question real quick.
They have my player, at least Madden.
I think Xbox is gonna have some microtransactions y'all ain't gonna like on Game Pass, especially for Halo Infinite.
Okay,
I don't think y'all see what's coming. I don't think y'all see what's coming.
Hey, yo, Tsunami, let me ask you a question though, real quick. If I told you, Tsunami, I'm gonna give you $40,000 every week And my other option for you is I'm gonna give you 100,000 at the end of the year, or maybe 500,000. Maybe 500,000. Which one you taking? Guaranteed or not?
I'm taking the guaranteed money because I know it's. I can schedule a lifestyle based on
my nigga.
I can schedule it. if it might be this, it might be that, or it has to. Certain things got to line up. Nah. Give me the guaranteed money. I can schedule. I can save, and I can look for future plans based on the money I know I got.
All I'm gonna say is that expect
100% because you never know. What if that game don't sell? What if you put all your eggs in that Returnal basket,
Ricky
or that
Brown.
Ratchet and Clank basket, or that Demon Souls
and then
basket?
hold on, let me just say this real quick. You said you're not gonna like the Halo microtransactions. Let's look at the Microsoft games currently that have microtransactions. Are any of them pay to win? Look at Sea of Thieves. Look at fucking Forza.
You're giving away content,
Look
bro.
at Gears. Look at fucking Bleeding Edge. Like none of this
Giving you
is pay to
content.
win. It's all cosmetic.
Yeah, they're cosmetic. They don't affect the game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand where people coming from.
Yeah.
You know where it come from? Straight from the pony's horse's mouth.
They all cosmetic. I'm saying it's cosmetic.
They wish they had DLC multiplayer.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yo.
Factions.
Yo,
Yeah. How's that factions going for Last of Us 2?
I got
Can I see it?
a question from Mr. Hart real quick. So, Mr. Hart, you mentioned that all you see is 60, 65 Metacritic type games in Game Pass, right? Well, what if Forza scores high? Halo scores high.
Psychonauts already scored.
Plague Tale 2 scores high. Atomic Heart, Redfall, Starfield. Those games get really good Metacritic scores. What would you have to say about Game Pass then? I'm just curious.
Mostly what I have to say about Game Pass is
Stop
based
smiling
upon
so
the
hard.
majority of what Game Pass offers. I'm not talking about that one game this holiday season or that one game in the summertime.
Two. How many
You
games?
know what I'm saying? That's not gonna be enough. Come on now.
Dude, do you have Game Pass, my dude?
There's 400 games.
He's got PS Plus, and he just canceled his PS Now
Exactly.
account 2
What are you
minutes ago.
talking about? You go to Game Pass right now. I have a lot of games on game. So you tell me Yakuza is a 60 ready game?
I'm gonna say it like this: the more we see games coming on Game Pass, what we see is maybe one of them is a hit.
First of all,
the rest of
that
10 of them, 10 out of
that narrative has been over, bro.
Yo, I love you, Bart. I love you, Bart. Yo, you the only dude on Spaces I could damn near see in my mind smiling through the phone.
You're smiling through the cap. First of all, we passed that narrative. We have day and date games. We know it's bangers. We got show game. We got MLB The Show. Like, come on, brother. Like, there's more players on Xbox than on PlayStation. Like, this is your
wrong.
game.
There's not more players on Xbox than there is on PlayStation.
Yeah, that's
Hold on.
You sure? Hold on. We talking about PS Plus versus
No. We're talking about people that play MLB The Show. There's more players on Xbox.
That's true.
It's more people on Game Pass playing it
MLB
than
The Show
Sony.
sold more.
No.
Hey, let me see.
You said sold numbers. Game Pass numbers aren't sold, bro. You talking about sold. People, he said playing. More people are playing it.
And guess what?
On the
All
Xbox.
those microtransactions that's in that game, Xbox get a cut of that because it's coming from their store. So guess what?
Yeah, those stubs,
exactly.
bro. Them stubs.
Exactly.
Wait, so what's the numbers? Where's the numbers at for that game? Where's the numbers at? Hold on.
Okay,
all right, y'all.
I want to know.
100, y'all.
What's the numbers?
Hey, peace out, bro. Appreciate you coming through.
What's the user engagement for MLB? What's that? Where's that at?
Right now, MLB The Show ranked number 16 more playing game right now on Xbox.
Still. Baseball season's over.
16, and the baseball season is over. The baseball season is over. Ended last week.
Next is ranked number 20, and that came on Game Pass a couple of days ago.
So wait, did you compare that to the numbers on PlayStation?
But majority of people on PlayStation play Call of Duty and Fortnite.
Minecraft.
Okay.
Yeah. I just want to know.
There
Because
was an
Microsoft
actual
game.
article that came out that said the Avengers game is seeing a boost in player engagement ever since it released in Game Pass.
But it was on PS Now, and it didn't do no kind of numbers.
No, because nobody wants
Right
PS.
now, the Avengers ranked number 10.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to you like this. How does a game like Sea of Thieves have 10 million players? You don't think MLB The Show?
Okay, you know why? You know why? You know why?
You don't think MLB The Show got it? You think? Come on.
You know why? You know why Sea of Thieves ranked number 10? It still have a 69 Metacritic score.
No, they re-rated it.
I don't know. You know why though? Because of content.
Yeah, they re-rated it.
Sony does not know how to make a good multiplayer and keep it alive.
So wait, so the content. So
yeah,
you're saying that
like Destruction of All Stars. Listen, I
so
don't
you
get
saying
how
that
bad this game.
I knew you was about to go there too. I was about to bring it up myself. Go ahead.
Okay, so for example, Destruction of All Stars. That's not how bad the game was. They could still save the game if they put more content in the game and make people go back and play. That's how.
Which is what they're doing right now. They actually.
Oh, nobody plays
So
it.
wait. Hold on, wait.
Playing it.
Let me just put this out there. Let me put this out there real quick. Destruction All Stars has a worse meta than Bleeding Edge.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That's cap. That's
Yes,
cap.
it does.
That's cap. That's cap.
It does.
Bleeding Edge got low scores.
And you know what's crazy?
That's cap.
The same argument can be said for Destruction All Stars. The game is fine, but there's no content. I like Bleeding Edge, but they didn't add nothing to it. So
Bleeding
I said, okay,
Edge
it's done.
died. That one is done. Destruction All Stars is actually still being played. So
No, it's not. You're lying.
Stop it.
Oh, no,
they still have people on that game on Destruction All Stars. Bleeding Edge has nobody.
Hold on.
Zero engagement right now.
And you can still play the game, but they had to add bots to Destruction All Star because it wasn't enough players.
They actually no. So here's the thing. They didn't have to add bots. They actually have offline modes where you can play the game. That's a different mode altogether. They
When you
have
play
online and then they got
can't
offline.
fill the lobby, then they give bots.
Yeah.
Bleeding Edge got a
I got a question real quick.
I think that many of you are playing it right now.
Yo, Hart, you're capping, bro.
I'm not.
Destruction All Stars is at 62 Metacritic, and Bleeding Edge is at a 66.
I'm not. Listen, I do podcasts. I know these.
Want to check your math, brother?
I do podcasts. I'm professionally trained not to embarrass myself in public. You do it every day though.
Yeah,
you
bro.
do it every day.
All right, so
You gotta use your Twitter fingers a little better, bro.
The thing is, when it came down to it, Bleeding Edge. When I saw the last time I saw the score, it was really low. So I'm not even gonna. You know what? I'm put
Wait. What Metacritic you know gain 10 points?
J-Dub has trained you well.
What Metacritic score you know gain 10 points? It always goes down, never goes up.
This
It was at 70 earlier, then went down to 66.
That was an article on May 30th, 2021. Destruction All Stars is getting online bots. We'll be adding online bots to fill up matchmaking spots that aren't taken up by real players. Destruction All Star will be adding online bots in order to balance out the low times of player activity for online matchmaking. That was back in May. So I'm pretty sure the game about dead now.
Yeah, the game is dead.
You should have saved that money and just made another Twisted Metal instead of making that jump.
Twisted Metal, but if they make Twisted Metal, listen, man, I don't think they're making Twisted Metal. If they are making Twisted Metal, that's a huge mistake.
Didn't they say that though? They said
they already got Jaffe upset about it. He's like, it'll bother him if they didn't call him to console him or something.
They're not talented developers though. No, who the hell will make this game?
I got a question real quick. I don't mean to interfere in the conversation I'm having, but I've heard a lot listening to y'all about this spaces that happened earlier today. I was at the Comic-Con, so I never heard any spaces. Can anybody give me the Cliff Notes version on what happened?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm
I
not
couldn't
sure.
tell you, bro.
I had
I
second
don't know.
that bounce, bro. I couldn't really tell you. I just know they were talking about Game Pass.
Oh, and they were being realistic about how Game Pass is not really making sales. Yeah, they were talking.
They still
Yeah,
Xbox?
if I may, because I was in that space earlier, what they were saying. So they had a dude who was like a he seemed like a corporate accountant, but he wasn't like in the industry. That's what he did for a living, like corporate accounting. So he's making some high level guesstimates on how Game Pass can be profitable and what the future of Game Pass is. And I think the consensus of it all was that they believe, and I'm a PlayStation guy. Let me go ahead and say that before I say I can cuss me the fuck out or whatever y'all do here. But that Game Pass hopefully will come to PlayStation in the next 3, 4, 5 years and so shit. So
happen.
Nah.
Here's my logic.
Well, if that happens, the console war is over.
But so here's my logic behind it.
Sony.
So here's my logic behind it, right? So if everything that's exclusive to Xbox for the most part is on Game Pass, right? And as a person, I own an Xbox as well, you know, so I like video games a lot. But I mainly play the PlayStation, you know what I'm saying? It would be beneficial for everybody, I think, if the only reason to have an Xbox is the exclusives on Xbox. Well, if you can have all those exclusives and all the PlayStation exclusives on one fucking console.
What if it's twisted around? What if those $200-300 million budget games don't sell enough, and now Sony got to put their shit on Game Pass?
But but no matter what, Microsoft Xbox should acquire another publisher with well-established, because it's not guaranteed that every studio which has right now, every game will be a banger. There might be some other flops as well.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we found out how Sony does compete with 23 studios. You remake the game, you remaster it, and you give it a director's cut. So you sell it to them.
Yes,
that's how you compete with 23
as
studios.
the rumors from the last time, they acquired Take-Two to make GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption only exclusive on Xbox. It will be a real deal.
That'll be a mistake to keep it exclusive. If you keep the online to everybody, but keep the campaign and all that other stuff exclusive, you cannot take GTA Online away from 100 and something million PlayStations.
Not the online, only the campaign and the multiplayer, but the online to be standalone as it is now with the Red Dead Redemption as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, where there's smoke, there's fire. Somebody's buying something. You know, nobody knows. Nobody's a real insider.
Did y'all catch that Colin Moriarty salty interview?
Oh, that shit was terrible for Salty, yo. Hey, yo,
they were fighting like the first 10 minutes. They were fighting.
Someone give someone
what happened. Was fighting, slinging mud. You don't know me. You said you didn't know me 10 minutes ago. I just met you.
I'm not a big.
Yo, it's funny when dudes try to fight using big words.
Okay, I'm back.
Pause, don't you got another show to do too?
Yeah, I'm getting ready for the show, and then I was uploading some content to my channel that's gonna go live in a minute. What's that mean?
Well, who else did we get everybody?
Man, what?
We got Cataline, we got Puka, Boba Fett. Did you want to say anything?
Oh yeah, what's up? Yeah, it's kind of been touched on a bit, but I just can't believe these Sunny boys come in here and try and keep a straight face and say they ain't scared. They spending all that energy on Twitter doing console Olympics, going 0.2 frames per second less, this and that, spending years of energy on that shit. Yeah. Anyways, I don't see anyone. They're criticizing all these companies, trying to say, "Oh, Game Pass going to go broke, this or that." Look at Spotify; they ain't making fuck all, man. I don't see anyone on a bandwagon criticizing their services.
Well, the difference is Microsoft owns their content, where Netflix and Spotify don't.
They buy and purchase. They buy and purchase content.
Yeah, they do.
But the other part that people don't realize is there is no DLC for movies. There is no microtransactions for movies.
Absolutely. And a movie gets a bad review, people just leave it the fuck alone. Like you can take a risk on a bad rated game because you know people are fanboy. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna play this.
The part about that is you can have a game get better through patches. You can have a movie get better through director's cut.
No.
Like, I mean, you know, they tried on PlayStation.
Director's cut. Yeah, that's the Sony way of thinking.
But again,
Snyder Cut was great though, y'all. Come on now.
I will say.
I guess that's the exception.
I like it.
But what it is, it's a tactic. They're wearing down the competition. Yeah, you're putting themselves on the ground a bit temporarily. You're growing the platform. Eventually, it pays off. So yeah, I can see how they're bitching and moaning about how they're not going to make money. It's going to hurt the industry, but it's just a temporary tactic, bro. In the end, it's the long game.
Yeah, the only person if Game Pass subscription service really hurt, you hurt the Game Exchange, you hurt the GameStop. Those are the guys you hurt.
I don't give a fuck about
I think digital did that to GameStop because I don't even know who the fuck buys physical copies anymore.
Only if it's a collector's edition. It's got to be a collector's edition or a collector's console. That's when you buy the physical. But as far as sports games, I never bought the physical. I always bought, I only bought the physical for sports games because I trade them in the day before, it goes down to $5 as opposed to $20.
I always buy digital on Xbox, but physical on PlayStation because I beat that shit and return that shit.
I would say this.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, and I don't want people to say I'm capping. Those PlayStation digitals, there's always a freaking issue with the upgrade. You got to uninstall it, get rid of rights, and remake.
Hold on. Hey, I just wanted to, I just jumped in. I was listening to everybody, what they're saying, and, I agree on everybody's side, but there's certain things that, like I said, I think I'm kind of like with Kuka on the sense of...
This nigga
I live in New York. I'm in New York. My bad, I'm in New York. My bad.
I live under a bridge.
I live close to JFK. My bad. So basically,
you're on the east side.
Yeah, I'm from New York. So I agree kind of on Puka's side in the sense of like, I'm not talking on the sense of a side. Like, and I'm just being real. I was in on the Codes one when they were talking about the whole Game Pass situation. Now, I listened to the whole thing on a financial aspect. They were more in the sense of just trying to find out, not in the sense of, Game Pass is bad. They were just trying to find out from people who work in the industry of that type of financial thing. Like, does it benefit? And just because they just was trying to like get rid of the whole narrative of people just saying one thing. Like, they don't want to say like automatically if you have Game Pass, you're destroying everything when it comes to finances. So they're trying to figure out a way for all of us, like anyone who is in there, to learn more about it instead of more look at it as we are trying to say what it's doing. Because at the end of the day, the only people who truly know are the people who work there. Like for me right now, I can't speak for Sony because I don't technically work inside the office or for any of these companies. So we can all make an assumption of what it goes and an assumption of what we feel it's doing. But at the end of the day, truly, if you don't like PlayStation games, fine. There's no issue for me for that. And there should be no issue for anybody here talking about it. If I don't like certain games that Xbox makes, it doesn't mean I hate Xbox. It's just that certain game. Because like I say all the time, this Crossfire X thing, I can't wait for it. Even though I don't have an Xbox. I have a PC and I know I can play it there, but that's one of the most like anticipated games I have for Microsoft right now. And I've had games that Microsoft drops that I am anticipating. So if I'm like, whenever I see these spaces and I jump on, I kind of just want to see on the sense of, everyone's mindset, but not in the sense of more of, I'm just going to bash this company because I don't like them. No, like, let's just call it a spade in the sense of games. If you're a person that likes an Uncharted type game and Uncharted's on PlayStation, then that's just it. You just like it. It doesn't mean that you're a bot. It doesn't mean that you're a pony. You just like that type of game. If I like Halo because I grew up playing the multiplayer as a kid and it's on a system I don't play no more, I like Halo. It doesn't mean I'm a bot or a pony either. I like games first. So if we're talking in the sense of people that...
No. At the end of the day,
It's sad because you're in the minority.
No. But honest to God,
Hey,
I
I
don't care
want
what anybody says
Hold
about
on.
what I like because it's just at the end of the day, I still play whatever I want to play. And
Yeah, but it's not after people like you who have sense.
I know, but you see, that's
It's
the thing. But it's
you
the
know what I'm
thing
saying? It's the
about
toxic
I know,
dude,
but that's what I'm saying.
not guys like
but
you.
one thing, let's all learn. Like, let's all be real. Like, from growing up as kids, from our parenthoods, all of that. One thing we've all learned is that we feed it, even in the sense of we're attacking the same people doing it, we're no better than they are. We are doing the same exact thing they're doing by bashing back them. Because what do you think they're going to do? Now, if you guys ain't going to back down, do you think they're going to back down? No. So then you're just starting the cycle over and over and over and
Let
over.
me say
If
this.
you want to bash it, if you want to end it, just say, yo, y'all can keep talking what you're doing. We're still going to do what we do.
But
Now,
realistically, the
it.
console war is not going to go anywhere, no matter.
Oh, don't get me wrong on that. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong
Your
on
console
that.
war been out since Genesis
So
and 8-bit Nintendo, bro.
I've been playing Atari. I've been playing Genesis. I made the mistake of buying Genesis. But only thing I always say for me when I bought the only thing I
Genesis did
say
stomp out that 8-bit Nintendo.
the only thing I say about when I bought my Genesis that I was so proud of is the sense that Nintendo was always Nintendo was always like kitty. So remember, Mortal Kombat had brown blood and spit and but
Sweat.
what's called? But Genesis had
Sega had the ABA, CABB,
Yeah, so I
the
love
Abacama code.
but
I think that
we all can be real that Nintendo had way better graphics than Genesis did.
Hey, yo, Broken Saints.
Well, the Super Nintendo did, not the 8-bit.
Broken Saints.
Point.
And Sega wasn't ready for that transition. They had to come out with 6-button controllers.
That's true.
Because the Super Nintendo already had the 6 buttons.
Hey, let me say something before I go.
Go ahead.
I just want to say this. In terms of the overall conversation, I think on my time being on this planet, every form of technology in terms of how I consume my content or how I consume my information has transcended the initial platform in which that content or that information was fed to me. All right. Music has transcended CDs and radio. Okay. Movies have transcended TV, VHS, and theater. Okay. It's only right for gaming to be the next industry that transitioned the how we consume our content. All right. If you listen to what Jim said today, he said he's frustrated on the fact that you're selling 120 million consoles, right? And the PS2 did 150 million. And I've said this before, and I got a lot of pushback with the ponies, but you're only selling to the same people, and your content is not matching the hardware numbers. And we know people about multiple systems and things like that. But if you're selling 90 to 100 million systems every generation, you're not expanding. Your product is not expanding. That means the same generation, the same people come and consume the same hardware. Right? When you start seeing things going to the 200 million, 300 million, then you can say, okay, I see growth here now because we're growing beyond that wall that we was at. Now, in what he said in his interview is that majority of their big titles hit 20, maybe 20 or 30 million people, and that's it. Knowing there's 3 billion gamers in the world.
But is it 3 billion? Is it 3 billion in the sense of
that gamer number is like
no, but I'm saying is it 3 billion? No, hold on. But is it 3 billion of all platforms or
I'm
just
talking
one platform?
I'm talking about just three. They said
the
there's
target.
3 billion gamers on the planet, right? 3 billion gamers on the planet, right? If you look at the mobile space take up half of gaming by itself, right? And we're in a space where we argue every day that exclusive matters and everybody care about big AAA games, right? But yet you have this sector over here that makes up more than half of gaming, whether you put Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo combined,
right? It's mobile, and then it's those three splitting the other half. You know what I'm saying? That lets us know and that our ideals in terms of how we approach gaming is small in the whole sense of gaming period. And I called this years ago. I said the industry was going to be consolidated, and Microsoft and Sony was going to start buying up developers and stuff as other industries tried to come in and encroach on that playing field because it's the biggest entertainment in gaming right now, right? The next thing you have to do is, if you want to break out of that mode and expand your base, you have to go where people are comfortable with playing. Some people don't like playing on PC. They like playing on console. Some people enjoy games on mobile phones and stuff like that. My son, the gamer they are today wasn't the game I was yesterday. My son will play on anything. He don't care how he play Call of Duty. He'll play it on tablet, a cell phone, a console, wherever he can get a hold of it, he'll play it. The way we grew up in this whole console war space where my system is better than yours, and I'm gonna consume my content on this system because I think it's better than anything else out there. These young gamers today, which is what they marketing to now, they're not really no longer marketing us. It's these new age gamers that are raised tech hip, that know how to use a phone at 5 or 6, that's working a tablet at 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, that don't care how they consume their technology or their content or their information, and don't care and don't exist in this world of console warming. That's where they're aiming for. Microsoft is doing it, and Sony will do it. Because if they're trying to reach 100 or 200 million people, then he's gonna have to take PlayStation content beyond PlayStation hardware, just like Microsoft is taking Xbox content beyond Xbox hardware.
But I kind of don't. I agree and I don't. It's like I'm kind of indifferent what you're saying in the sense of, I agree in the sense of what you're saying, and that the young generation, like, it's even going down from school to schools.
Yeah.
Like, technology is everything. But what I say in the sense of, you have to look at this thing in the sense of upbringing. Like, my children right now, if you was to throw out which system would you want right now, off the top of their head, they'll probably say PlayStation because that's all they've seen their father ever play. So they've been raised in it. So one thing I can say in the sense of, sometimes, like, at the end of the day, I never have a problem when it came to the whole, I guess now people want to say console war. I just said pick the system. Because at the end of the day, when we grew up, like you're saying, with the Genesis, Super Nintendo, TurboGrafx, Neo Geo, Atari, ColecoVision, it all depended on what kind of game you played and what system had it.
Exactly.
Because if you want to be honest, if you want to talk about one of the most exclusive systems ever, it was 2 of them. It was Neo Geo and TurboGrafx. Nobody had nobody had
proprietary hardware.
And they just didn't kick off much because of just promoting, But right now, PlayStation and Xbox have excellent promotion skills. So it's just, it's just who has the better exclusive at the moment. Now, we're saying that I've heard the whole term about using an old IP and remastering it. Unfortunately, right now, we have to be honest with ourselves. If half the games that we grew up on was being remade today, I don't care what system's doing it, I would run to some of them, because it's just the sense of the nostalgia of, like me, I'm a type of person, like, a lot of us here in this space have been playing since Atari 26. So we know what it's like to play Pog and some square block punching each other for boxing, and we know what it's like going
we was
up
playing pencils back in the day,
and we enjoyed it. And we was like, yo, this tennis is mad real, and it's just an orange square and a green square slapping a ball over a line. And we thought that was amazing. So for me, I can never backlog because of that. That's my curse. Because everything I see new, I'd rather have that than something back. And I just can't backlog. So I'm not that type of gamer. Do I hate people who do? No. I honestly, I would love my children to see what I've grown up on and see and love it as much as I did. But for me, anything that I see new, I want. So if it's like Metal Gear Solid or Gears of War, but Gears of War has been updated to to the Xbox Series X level from part one, I'm like, oh crap, I want to see what that's like. I want to play it. Like, I love to see anything better. So when PlayStation sees that a lot of the old gamers are the ones that grew up playing them as children. So to see a newer version of it is easy money. You know, it's like you got to see where the money is. You got to just be honest. We all have to be honest to ourselves. If we ever see old games that we played growing up, if right now they say, hey, guess what? Blades of Steel and Double Dribble are now made for current gen, we will break our necks to go
And
see
no,
that.
ain't nobody playing that shit, man. Ain't nobody playing double dribble
Man,
again, man.
Blades
Fuck
of Steel, I
that.
used to
Double
purposely fight
dribble,
people. I used to literally bump into people
looking
to
like
make a fight
NBA
start in
Jam
Blades.
versus 2K. Man, ain't nobody playing that shit, man.
Well,
At least
nah,
I wouldn't do
I'm
that
just
shit.
saying. I'm just saying in the sense of
real
right
quick, yo.
now,
Hey,
2K, you don't need.
we run out of time. I do
Oh, my
want to
bad.
ask Broken Saint something, and then I'm gonna let Catalina speak.
Oh
real
yeah,
quick.
go ahead.
But you mentioned like all the Twitter spaces and stuff, right? And what kind of bothered me, I went into one of the Twitter spaces. They were talking about it just had a negative connotation on Halo Infinite, made it seem like the beta was just unimpressive, right? And I even heard somebody in there say they're a huge Halo fan. They didn't get to play the Halo Infinite flight, but it didn't impress them. They were disappointed in it.
Yeah, they were looking at videos. Basically, I saw that one. They were like basically watching videos of someone else, and then they took. You know, unfortunately, I say this to my children too. A lot of problems that we all have right now, and I'm not speaking for anybody here, but if you get offended, I apologize in advance. A lot of times, we have a big problem of being more of a follower than a listener, than a leader. You know, I was in the military, so all I think about is leading forward first. But at the end of the day, I've heard someone say this, and every time I hear it, I'm like, I wish everyone thinks like this. It doesn't matter what anyone says; it's how you feel about what you're doing. Because if you love Halo, it shouldn't matter if a pumpkin doesn't blow up when you shoot it. You love the game, play it. Don't give two shits about what anyone says. If you care so much about other people's opinion, then you follow too much. At the end of the day, I don't give two shits what anyone says about anything I do. If I like it, I do it. You know, at the end of the day, it's our personal choice. It's our personal choice.
And I think that's where you and I see eye to eye. Because my biggest thing is it's kind of like a cancer, bro. Like I see someone give their opinion, they say the game is trash, and now
then everyone rushes. You know,
guys that didn't play it and they agree, and now you have you got a crowd of people talking how horrible the game is, and even never even booted the game up.
And I say that, but you see, and I say that in the sense of that's unfortunate for every system. Right now, that is like the biggest thing right now that's going around. That's the biggest toxicity. Everyone's listening to other people's opinion without just doing it themselves. And then everyone's complaining of what everyone else is making everyone else do. At the end of the day, we shouldn't, at the end of the day, if you want to play it, and you play it and it's crap and you're like, damn, I paid or I didn't pay, that's just it. Like, unfortunately, us growing up as kids, buying games was literally a gamble. I buy a game and it'll be awesome, and I buy a game and it'll be pure trash. And it just happens. I just live with it. I don't go around kicking stones. I just be like, oh, well, I'll beat it. And
What
I'll
you
be
talking
mad.
about? When you're a kid, your parents buy the game, so
Exactly.
you had to
And
live
then-
with the decision. Dang, man.
Yeah, like, you know how many times I've laughed at my brother for buying Bonk's Adventure, and we laughing like, look at this crap. You picked
I'm gonna learn to like this game because this is all I got to play.
Exactly. And that's why I say why we all grown up to be true gamers, because we force ourselves to play trash sometimes. But at the end of the day, we learn to appreciate what people have sat there to make. That's why I always argue. I used to argue with my mother. Like, she was like, these are for kids. I was like, but grown-ups make them. And she was like, shut your mouth, boy. And I'm like, that's the truth. Sorry.
You know, appreciate it, man. Let me get Catalina here real quick, and I'm gonna
all right, man. Appreciate it.
I'll be quick. Regarding the console sales number, right now PS5 sold more than Series X or S, but this is because Microsoft secured the chips to upgrade the xCloud server farm, which required a lot of chips, thousands of numbers. And soon in the next year, when more Xbox consoles will be available on the market, I presume it will be not like in the previous generation. It will be more like 50-50, I suppose. And the second thing, if you take a look on Google Analytics, you search Xbox versus PS5, you'll see that Xbox searches or Game Pass searches exploded in the last 6 months or something like that.
Wow.
So
Hey,
April or May.
That's good info. I didn't know that about the Google, but the piggyback on
Yeah,
that.
it doesn't matter if it's Japan, Asia, Europe, or US. If you search in Google Analytics PS5 versus Series 6 or Game Pass or whatever it is, you'll see that a lot of people search more. It's like 60 to 40%.
I don't think anybody can deny that Xbox is the talk of the town. Whether it be good news or bad news, Xbox always seems to be in the headline. Whether it be a PlayStation channel, Xbox channel. There's normally Xbox somewhere in the headline, and I think this gen will be a lot closer. I don't know if it's going to be 50-50. Sony has a really big market share in more countries, but I think it's going to be a lot closer this generation than last. It's hard to get an Xbox. It's hard to get a PS5 too, but it is really hard to get an Xbox, especially a Series X. And
yes, but PS5 sold 11 millions and Series 6 or Series S, whatever, both of them sold 7 million. So it's a difference for 4 millions. But those chips were produced as well. But Microsoft secured them to upgrade the xCloud farm, because now the games on cloud are not rendered on Xbox One configuration. It's rendered on Series 6 configuration, also for the Xbox One users. So basically those chips, instead to be in the new consoles, to be on the market for the end user, they are now in their server farm. Because if you go to take a look online, it's neither available PS5 or Series 6 or Series S. All of them are sold. As soon as they reach the market, they are sold as well.
That's true. That's good though. That's a healthy thing that both consoles are selling out as soon as they become available. I would hate it to know that there's a shortage in consoles and a bunch of them are still sitting on the shelves. I mean, nobody wants to buy them, but this is healthy. This is a sign that console gaming is here to stay.
Let's not overlook Japan, where Microsoft sold in the last 8 months more than they sold in 8 years with the Xbox One.
Yeah, that's true. But hey, I'm gonna wrap it up from here, man. I appreciate you, Catalina. Is it or Catalan Seminuk? Did I pronounce that correctly?
Welcome to my town.